Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Margaret, the moderator for this conference. Welcome to the Q3 and 9 months FY21 earnings conference call of Tribhuvandas Bhimji Zaveri Limited, organized by Dickinson World IR. At this moment, all participants are in listen-only mode. Later, we will conduct a question and answer session. At that time, if you have a question, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Ms. Mansi Bodas. Thank you, and over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Margaret. Good evening, everyone. Let me welcome you all to the earnings call of Tribhuvandas Bhimji Zaveri Limited for the third quarter and 9 months of FY21. Today, we have with us the management represented by Ms. Binaisha Zaveri, Whole-Time Director, Mr. Saurav Banerjee, Chief Finance Officer. Before we get started, I would like to remind you that our remarks today might include forward-looking statements and actual results may differ materially from those contemplated by the forward-looking statements. Any statements we make on this call today are based on our assumption as on date, and we undertake no obligation to update these statements as a result of new information or future events. I would now invite Ms. Binaisha to make her opening remarks. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. I welcome you all to the earnings call of Tribhuvandas Bhimji Zaveri Limited for the third quarter and the 9-month results of FY 2021. Thank you for sparing your valuable time in joining us here today. The company has successfully navigated through one of the most challenging times witnessed in the several last decades. With focused and consistent efforts over the past 9 months, the company has emerged stronger, thereby now being well positioned to make further strides due to the gradually improving economic scenario and consumer sentiment. The company displayed an improved year-on-year performance, buoyed by the various festivals and auspicious occasions during the third quarter, as well as the revenues generated during the continuing wedding season. The company's emphasis on keeping operating expenses and debt cost under strict control resulted in positive operating leverage, leading to higher EBITDA and net profit margins. During the past 9 months of FY21, the company has strategized towards effectively inventory reduction and rationalization and debt reduction to further strengthen the balance sheet and cash flow that will help us in our future growth plans. Under the extraordinarily difficult circumstances, the company stimulated customer demand by innovative marketing strategies and offering appealing jewelry collections. With the COVID situation improving in the country and clear signs of encouraging customer demand trends, it aims for positive growth during the rest of its financial year as well as for the forthcoming one. The company is continuously working on its retail sales strategy to attract higher store footfalls and conversions, increasing the share of diamond jewelry and achieving consistent same-store sales growth. The company remains focused on further strengthening its balance sheet and its efforts to use capital judiciously. Consumer sentiments are gradually improving, and our marketing efforts based on tactical communication by using print, OOH and digital media, targeting the local area marketing in the primary and secondary catchment areas, and running attractive campaigns are expected to help deliver a strong performance. With this, I would now like to hand over the call to our CFO, Mr. Saurav Banerjee, for a quick overview of the financial performance during the quarter. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. This is Saurav Banerjee here. I'll first take you through the key highlights of the third quarter and the 9 months for FY 2021. I'll first read out the numbers for quarter 3 and then for the 9 months. Total income from operation Q3 FY21 623.28 crores vis-a-vis 644.56 for Q3 last year, a YOY decline of 3.3%. Gross profit in absolute terms at almost 100 crores for this quarter 3 compared to 78 crores for the last quarter 3, an improvement of 27.38%. Gross margins at blended levels. For this quarter 3, 16% vis-a-vis 12.15 for the last quarter 3. EBITDA in absolute terms, 68 crores versus 40 crores, an improvement of almost 70%. EBITDA margins at 10.91% vis-a-vis 6.22%. PBT for this quarter at 52.59 crores vis-a-vis last year's quarter 3 at 20.19, an improvement of 160%. PBT margin at 8.44% vis-a-vis 3.13. PAT in absolute terms, almost 40 crores vis-a-vis 14 crores for the last quarter 3. PAT margins at 6.34 vis-a-vis 2.18%. Now for the 9 months, total income from operations stood at 976 crores vis-a-vis 1467 crores, a drop of 33.5%. Gross profit at 166 crores vis-a-vis 198 crores for the last 9 months, a drop of 16%. Gross margin 17.06% vis-a-vis 13.54%. EBITDA at 100.57 crores versus 87.78 crores, improvement of about 14.5%. EBITDA margins at 10.31% vis-a-vis 5.98%. PBT at 48.91 crores vis-a-vis 26.41, an improvement of 85%. PBT margins at 5% vis-a-vis 1.80. PAT in absolute numbers about 35 crores vis-a-vis about 18 crores. PAT margin 3.53% vis-a-vis 1.23%. We can now go into the Q&A session.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on the touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. We would also request participants to please limit your question to 2 at a time. Should you have a follow-up question, please rejoin the queue. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Sujit Singh from Election Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon to the management and congratulations for managing a great performance in a COVID-affected year. I have a few questions. So I went through the presentation which you uploaded. As always, it's a great informative presentation. So I think the store count right now mentioned was 31. So has there been any store closure in this quarter, and if yes, for what reason?
Yeah, thank you for your question. Yes, the store count as of now is 31, and we did have a few store closures in this quarter. They were all in the mall stores. If you remember from our last, several conversations that we have had, that we had opened a few small stores, mini stores, you can call them, in the several malls in Mumbai, Pune, and Bangalore. So in these three cities, what we have done is we have had a very hard look at these stores. And as you are aware, that the malls were the worst affected during the COVID period, and also because of the lockdown. The first things that were closed by the government were the mall and the other, marketing and shopping areas, I would say. And hence, what we also realized is that even after the COVID situation has improved and things have really opened up, relatively much better than what it was a few months back. But the mall footfalls and the tendency or the desire to go to the mall by the customers or people who want to make purchases has been greatly affected, and it's still way away from being normal. So that is why the company has, sort of rightly decided that for the present, the best thing to do is sort of, unnecessarily not incur those overhead expenses and close the malls. And, it's something that's a fluid decision. It's not that we will never go back to the malls. I think when the opportune moment comes, we are happy to look at the malls once again. But for the present, we would like to sort of, go away from there. So that's the main reason. And we have also been able to, utilize that inventory, which would have otherwise probably, remained sort of idle. We can put it in the stores which are performing better, which have higher footfall, and which are much more likely to have an inventory turn, which will help the company to generate revenue.
Okay. Just one more follow-up on the same question. Were these company-owned stores or franchisee stores which were closed in the mall?
These were all company-owned stores. Okay.
So the store count on the franchisee front remains stable, right?
Yes. They remain the same. Yes.
Okay, that's great to know. And sir, a bit of an off-track question, but I remember on the last quarter's call, you had mentioned that we had introduced some digital way of connecting with the customers over video, and we were displaying or marketing our jewelry that way. So any improvement or any specific highlight on that front?
Yeah, you are right. I mean, yes, we have that facility. It's like, you can actually do a virtual kind of shopping through the digital platform. You can visit a TVZ store even from the confines of and the comforts of your home. And that's still very much on. That facility continues for the customer. And as I said last time, it has been very well appreciated. And even now, I think, people have taken a great liking for it because it really helps.
That's what I wanted to know, since gradually opening up and unlock scenes are improving by every month. And at least in Bombay, I think a lot of your stores are open most of the time. So has there been reducing interest in that, or is it still maintained? And
no, in fact, it's still maintained, and it's actually easier because the customer can sort of, pre-decide before visiting a store. So it helps in the purchasing, I would say, taking a call on what they want to purchase. It helps in that process.
Great. Okay. Thanks a lot for all your answers.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anyone who would like to ask a question, you may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Harish Sheth from Sheth Finance. Please go ahead.
Hello. Thanks for the opportunity. I have 2 questions. What will be the contribution of Kalpavriksha scheme in the revenue during the quarter? And how is the footfall conversion in the current store? And what is the same store growth for the 9-month period?
Okay, I'll answer one by one. The contribution of Kalpavriksha to the overall line numbers for quarter 3 will be in the range of about 10 to 15%. Approximately, I'm saying 10 to 15%, which is generally the trend, excepting in some of the months it goes up to about 20% also. But generally, that's the trend that we have seen, and that trend continues. The second question was regarding?
The footfall conversion.
Footfall conversion, yes. So you see, after the COVID situation improved and the lockdowns have been gradually removed, while we obviously, understandably, it has taken a bit of time, but I think in the last quarter, in the third quarter, we have seen a fair surge of footfalls. You can see that from the revenues. The revenues are almost the same as what we did in the third quarter of last year. And in terms of footfalls, there's been a definite surge, a greater interest. The confidence of the general public and the customers in going out has increased many folds. There has been a lot of efforts put by the government to open up things. And also, one should not forget the efforts that TBZ has taken as a company. One, as I said, is to constantly keep in touch with the customers, communicate with them on an absolute regular basis, enable them to do virtual visits of the store and sort of take decisions regarding their purchases. And because it was a festive time, coupled with the wedding dates and the wedding seasons and all, everything has really come together. And our complete assurances to the customers that when they visit the stores, there is a foolproof system in place, all the sanitization efforts and everything else to take care of, to ensure that they are absolutely safe in terms of, the health hazard that can be there. And all these, it's a combination of all this which has ensured that the footfalls have sort of started coming back to the original level.
Okay, and about an update on the same store growth for the 9-month period?
Yeah, okay, so same store sales growth, I would suggest that we start looking at it from the, full year performance once the full year ends, because, the same store sales growth, it will be difficult to compare on quarter-on-quarter basis. This year is still one of the most extraordinary years. There has been a substantial improvement, no doubt, and you can see it in the top line numbers as well, as I said. But for 9 months, I would request that we look at a same store sales growth. Actually, to be very honest, we should not look at in this full year itself. We should ideally, and that will be the right way to do it, look at the same store sales growth only from next year. So we are happy to, give you a feedback maybe once the full year is complete. 9 months, as you know, it will not make sense because the first quarter was completely washed out. And even in the second quarter, the month of July was just, sort of getting back into the scheme of things. I would not really say that was a full-fledged month, frankly speaking. So I suggest that we look at same-store sales growth either next year anytime, or if at all for academic reasons, we can look at it once the year ends.
Okay. Thanks for your time. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anyone who would like to ask a question, you may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Shailesh Rawal from Relevant Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, thanks for taking my question. So I have a couple of questions. My first question is on customers' behavior during the quarter. So how was the customer behavior for the quarter? Was there buying more for bullion or was for the jewelry sale?
Okay. Yeah, so the customer choices and preference or behavior, I would say, was primarily towards buying jewelry. In any case, bullion sales hardly happen in TBZ. If you are referring to coin sales, yes, coin sales do happen quite a bit, particularly during the festive days like Dhanteras or Dussehra or Akshaya Tritiya. So that happened in quarter 3, to a certain extent. But I would say that the pent-up demand that was there because of, several months of nothing much happening and nobody being able to sort of fulfill their plans or desires or the requirements for purchase, the focus of the customer was clearly on buying jewelry, be it gold jewelry or diamond jewelry. But, I would say almost entirely it was the jewelry sales which is constituting whatever we have sold in this quarter. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Am I audible now?
Answer? Yeah. I hope you heard my response.
Yes, I did. So my second question is on working capital, so which has reduced significantly, almost by 50%. So first component is obviously the inventory, but can you throw some light on other components, how they have behaved? And is this reduction in working capital permanent, or would you see increased working capital once the demand is back to normal?
Yeah, okay. You yourself mentioned inventory. Yes, obviously that was the big one. But in terms of, if you look at the other end of the coin or other side of the coin, which is the borrowing, you will find that our CC limit borrowing, not the gold loan borrowing, the CC limit borrowings have been brought down very, very significantly. So I think that, that itself is self-explanatory. Gold loan, I would not say is that much critical because, in fact, effectively the gold loan, we would always aim that to be on the higher side because virtually our entire gold procurement is happening through the gold loan. And it is just a function of the inactivity in the stores being closed, nothing happening, which has resulted in, I would say, there being no real requirement to take a gold loan to procure gold. But now that we are back in operations fully and completely, you will find that the gold loan, factor or the component will start increasing. But the important thing to note is to focus on the cash credit or the CC limit utilization, which we have been able to very, very successfully bring down. And the intention of the company is to keep it that way to the maximum extent possible. One cannot say that, this is the number where it will be. As you know, it cannot be cast in stone, but the effort will always be so. And the real reason for that being that, when we conserve these limits, when we, keep it for a time where we can go for a further expansion of our stores, a further increment in the square feet, and growth patterns that we are constantly looking at, and we are trying to, sort of firm up on those measures, and we will be able to utilize these, I would say, whatever, tools that we have in hand in terms of the limits and in terms of the stronger balance sheet to propel better growth in the forthcoming quarters for the company. So that's how the strategy has been planned out, and that is how we are likely to move along.
Okay. So coming to my first question, so we have seen some rise in gold prices recently. So have you seen any impact on the monthly deposits in terms of new customer addition?
You were talking about gold prices?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, as we all know, I mean, we are very aware, and everyone, all of you are aware that the gold prices have really shot through the roof in the past several months, and it has obviously impacted the customer mind. Everybody will start thinking, where is it going to end? How much further will the gold prices go up to? But at the same time, I would say that the Q3, which is what we are discussing today, gives us a clear indication that in spite of gold prices going up, where there is a demand and where there is a desire and demand from the customers to purchase jewelry, and I am talking more about gold jewelry because that's the topic that you asked for, we have clearly seen a very positive kind of a trend. So while, yes, there will be some customers, there must have been pockets of customers who would be waiting and watching and would have probably seen that the gold price have gone up further. But there have been customers who would have decided and who have done their purchases irrespective of the gold price. So which is very, very evident. So I think, yes, it does impact one's thought process and mind, but I think the decision that the customers take is not just based on gold prices.
So how the trend has been in terms of average purchase per customer? Is it declining due to the rising gold prices?
Not really. We have not seen any, major kind of a decline in the average purchases. It has been quite steady, probably has gone up a little bit. Reason being that there was a pent-up demand for several months. There were festivities, there were wedding seasons, wedding dates, which were, fresh, as well as those which could not take place due to the lockdown and which were, deferred or postponed. So it's a combination of these activities. We have not really seen any, fall in terms of average ticket size or average invoice prices.
Okay. Thanks, sir, for that clarification. I will join you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone who would like to ask a question, you may press star and 1. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and 1 to ask a question at this time. The next question is from the line of Ravi Chadija, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Mr. Saurav Banerjee, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, I am calling from Raipur.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, I know what the company's fourth quarter sales and profits, how the company's fourth quarter figures are run. Last 30, today's 10 February, how the months are going, sir, sales and profits?
Yes, sir. I'll try to give you some kind of a flavor.
Yes,
while I will not be able to really discuss the numbers per se, but based on what we have seen in January, I think we are absolutely on the right track. January has been a very, I would say, encouraging and decent month for us. Fourth quarter, I mean, we cannot compare quarter 3 with quarter 4 because of obvious reasons. But nevertheless, I think the beginning of the quarter has been very, very encouraging, and we are pretty sure that it will end also in a very on a positive note, both in terms of top line as well as profitability.
Okay, sir. And any interim dividend for this year, sir? Can it last year the company declared interim dividend 1 rupee. It's possible for this year, sir?
I cannot really comment on that. As of now, there is no such plan, but I really cannot comment on that.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you for your cooperation, sir. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hello.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Divyansh Kalra from Perpetuity Ventures LLP. Please go ahead.
Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Sir, can you give some sense on volumes? Because what we have seen over the past 1 year is gold prices have gone up 60-70%, from 30,000 to 50,000. And our sales level are still are at same level, so that is because of COVID. That is understandable. Can you give some more sense on what has been the traction in terms of volume, some granularity? What were the trends this quarter as compared to last year? Yeah, that was my question.
Okay, I'll try to give you a sense of it without getting into the nitty-gritties. So, if I were to, I'll break your question into two, or rather the answer into 2 parts. One is if I were to compare quarter 2 of this quarter with quarter 3, just for the sake of understanding how the things have progressed. In terms of volumes, I think in terms of quarter 2 and quarter 3, there's been a very, very huge substantial jump in terms of volume. So, which clearly shows that, things are getting back to normal, if not 100% normal, but getting back to normal, as far as retail jewelry and as far as TBZ is concerned. So that is first comment. The second comment, if I were to really compare with quarter 3 last year, quarter 3 this year, as I said, that it will not be an apple-to-apple comparison. We will have to remember that the overhang of COVID is still very much there. We may not be reading too much about it nowadays. We may not be talking too much about it nowadays, but it's still very much there. So in that sense, I really would not want to compare Q3 of last year with Q3 of this year. Suffice to say that the volumes are, I would say, a little bit lower. But I think, as you know, we have very, very compelling reasons for the same. So, I would not want anybody to draw any inferences from that. It's purely a question of, getting back on track, which we have already done to a great, great extent, I think.
Okay. And sir, in terms of granularities of volume, what things are selling more compared to last year? So is there some change in traction towards certain items?
Okay, so if you are talking about product mix, it is more or less the same. Slight changes always happen. So in terms of gold and diamond product mix, we have indicated that in our presentation. You can have a look at that. And in terms of quarter 3 versus last year quarter 3, gold diamond ratio virtually remains the same. In terms of 9 months, there is a slight change in the ratio. the diamond ratio has decreased or come down a little bit, not very much, come down a little bit. But as I said, these things are really, probably a greater impact of, the overall economic scenario, the health scenario and everything else. And I would not read too much into it.
Okay.
So I don't think there's, much change in the product mix, which is good, in fact, which indicates that things are fairly steady.
Yeah. And once the volume picks up, then we can see robust sales growth because gold prices are already 60-70% up. So
yeah, of course, yes, certainly, yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Vaibhav Achulia from VK Capital. Please go ahead.
Sir, can you give us some long-term plan as to how the company plans to increase shareholder value and say a 3 or 5 year plan kind of thing? And what kind of return ratios, ROEs and all we can generate?
Okay, so I will may not be really, give you a very elaborate answer because as you know, this is a call. We can talk offline whenever you wish to. But just to give you a flavor, you can already see that the company has taken, a lot of effort and focused on improving the balance sheet, strengthening the balance sheet. So we have not just dealt with just one aspect of the business. We have looked at the profitability, which is there for you to see. We have looked at the operating expenses. We have looked at the debt and the debt cost. We have looked at inventory and we have looked at, all those parameters. So that will give you a very good indication as to where the company is heading in terms of further growth and, which will obviously enhance the shareholder value, which is what you are looking at. In terms of further growth can be done in two forms. One is the same-store sales growth, which is obviously once again has been a focus area for us for all the quarters that we have been talking about in the past. And once again, there will be a complete focus on same-store sales growth, store profitability, which we shall be able to, elaborate further when the year ends and when the next year begins. Because as I said, this year probably we should all take it as a very exceptional, once in a century, once in a lifetime kind of a year. And in terms of expansion, I have already mentioned that the company is clearly, positioning itself for further, growth in terms of physical growth, in terms of opening a few more stores down the line. It can be owned stores. It can be a combination of franchisee stores and owned stores. So, this is how we are looking at it. We are working towards it. You can see that, we have already done quite a bit towards it, which gives you a clear indication that the company is focused on growth, which is both on same-store sales growth front as well as further additions in the cities where we would like to be. So you will see all of that happening in the forthcoming financial year. Exactly when it will happen, difficult for me to say, but I can assure you that that's the clear focus for the company.
Right, understood. So all this debt reduction which we have done, that gives us the capacity to borrow in the future and then expand it. Is that the plan?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely you are right. You are right.
Okay. And any online possibilities for selling our products?
Yes, of course. See, we are very, very closely looking and enhancing our digital capabilities. We have already, put the Kalpavruksha, which is the, EMI savings kind, monthly saving kind of thing on the digital platform. We are present in the marketplace with Flipkart and Amazon and some of those areas. We are very much present there, and we are totally focused, and we are looking at an opportune moment where we should be able to have our own, you can say, a selling platform or, some kind of platform where people can come and buy jewelry directly from the online store of TBZ. So yes, this remains another focus area for us.
Right now, is there any part of our sales which is coming from online?
We do have, as I said, we are there on the common marketplace with Flipkart and Amazon and all that. And also the I would say the initiation process of the sales, which happens when a KP, Kalpavruksha plan matures. So those things are already online. But however, it's not a large number. It's not a very significant number. So,
So right now it would be hardly few lakhs, is it? This Flipkart, Amazon and all that?
I mean, it may not be a few lakhs, but will still be a very small, I would say.
Okay. And is it first of all possible to generate large sales from online in our category in the future, 2, 3, 4 years down the line?
We should be, yes. We are pretty confident that we will be able to do that. We are looking at what others are doing. So, it's always good to keep track of the competition and those who are online, those who have been there, done that in the past. So we are doing that, and we are fairly confident that, the kind of range that we have, so it will enable people to come online and make some purchases from there.
So like in the future, 5-10% of our sales can happen online, is it?
Yes, it is possible.
Right, got that. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Before we take the next question, we would like to remind our participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Vijit R., an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good evening.
Good evening. How you value your inventory? Is the FIFO or average purchase?
No, we do it on weighted average.
Weighted average. So what is your right now cost of gold is, your inventory is?
Cost of gold today? You mean per gram?
Yeah, what is the cost of your inventory? Basically, main thing is gold only, I think.
No. We do have a fair size of diamonds. So our inventory is basically, if you look at a percentage breakup, then we have about 60% of our total inventory will be gold, and the balance will be diamond. Yeah, so it's not just gold. Yeah.
60% is?
60% of our total inventory will be gold, and about 40% will be diamond.
Okay, and you value your gold values on weighted average?
Yeah, weighted average. It's called weighted average method.
Yeah, weighted. I got it. Weighted average method. So what is your valuation right now of this inventory, your gold inventory?
So we have 950 crores of inventory on our balance sheet as on 31st December.
Okay.
Yeah, and as I said, about 60% of that is gold.
Okay, I got it. But what is your cost of the gold? 60%, roughly 575 crores.
Yeah, yes. I mean, it comes to around that much.
No, what is the average cost of that gold purchase gold?
Sir, I will not be able to answer that question in that way because, it's a weighted average. It's a daily weighted average. It changes on a daily basis.
Last year you bought same gold on 35,000, 37,000. So if today you bought it for 8,000.
You can say approximately 5,000 rupees per gram. I mean, I have not seen exactly what it is just now, but you can take an average approximate of, say, something like 4,900 or 5,000 rupees per gram, something like that.
Okay. Still you have some value in this gold, no? I think so.
Sir, I'm sorry, I'm not getting your question. Maybe I can explain to you offline.
Okay, no issue.
Yeah.
How much is your sale of online or on store sold? What is your ratio?
Online, sir, online sale, as I just explained in the previous question, it's a very small number. We are looking to, sort of increase that. But at present, it is an insignificant number, very insignificant.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone who would like to ask a question, you may press star and 1. As there are no further questions from the participants, I now hand the conference over to Ms. Mansi Bodas for closing comments.
Thank you everyone for joining us today for this call. In case of any further questions, you can get in touch with us. Our coordinates are provided in the presentation.
Thank you. On behalf of Dickenson World IR, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your line.